This is impossible. Look at her. Does she look like a Diamond member?
Did you just suggest that I stole my phone?
The VIP lounge at Kingsley International glittered like a stage set for a world that belonged to the few. Gold trim traced the edges of Italian marble, and crystal chandeliers scattered light across polished surfaces, reflecting the self-importance of the elite traveling through Manhattan. The soft hum of classical jazz barely masked the whispers of wealth in motion. Naomi Grant stepped onto the plush carpet, her movements quiet and precise. Her charcoal turtleneck was elegant but unbranded. In a room of people wearing their net worth on their sleeves, she was a shadow. This lounge is for first-class passengers only. You need to leave. Now. The voice belonged to Derek Whitmore, lounge manager. He didn't just speak, he barked. He physically stepped into her path, crossing his arms. His eyes flicked to the first-class only sign, then back at her, as if daring her to contradict him. "I am a first-class passenger, sir," Naomi said, her voice calm but firm. Derek didn't even reach for her ticket. He leaned in, his tone a jagged blade. "I'm sure you believe you are. But let's be honest, you're in the wrong place. Don't make me call security and have you dragged out. It would embarrass everyone." Around them, conversations died. A woman in pearls pulled her luggage away as if Naomi were contagious. A businessman checked his Rolex, his jaw tight with silent judgment. Naomi felt the weight of 100 micro-assaults pressing down on her, each one a whisper of doubt planted in the minds of onlookers. Have you ever been assumed inferior simply for existing? "May I speak to your supervisor?" Naomi asked softly. "I am the supervisor," Derek snapped. "Out. Now." Derek signaled 2 security guards. Officer Porter, a veteran with eyes that had seen too much, approached. "Problem, Derek?" "Trespasser," Derek said, pointing at Naomi. "She claims she's Diamond Tier. Check her, then get her out." Porter scanned Naomi's phone. The machine emitted a high, clear note, the sound of undeniable truth. "It's real, Derek," Porter whispered. Derek snatched the phone, his face flushing crimson. "Impossible. It's a glitch. Or she stole it. Look at her. Does she look like a Diamond member to you?" He leaned in closer, voice rising. "Where did you get this? Naomi's hands remained steady. "Mr. Whitmore, I'm giving you one chance to apologize. Not for the mistake, but for the assumption." Derek laughed. A harsh, jagged sound. "Apologize?" "Security. Remove her." Naomi pressed speed dial. "Martin," she said when the call connected. "I'm at Gate C. Your manager is having me escorted out. He suggested I stole my own phone. And yes, he thinks I'm disturbing other guests." A silence fell across the lounge, thick enough to feel. Derek's smirk faltered. 10 minutes later, the heavy doors swung open. Martin Rothschild, chairman of the airport authority, stormed in, flanked by 3 men in dark suits. He ignored the wealthy travelers, bowing slightly to Naomi. "Miss Grant, I am mortified. Please tell me this hasn't gone further than words." Derek stammered. "Chairman, I was just protecting the integrity of the lounge." "The only glitch here," Martin said, voice trembling with fury, "is you. Naomi Grant is the CEO of Meridian Capital. Her firm owns 40% of the debt that built this lounge. You just tried to kick the landlord out of her own house." Naomi felt a quiet satisfaction, a pulse of vindication, but she stayed still, calm. Justice isn't loud, it's precise. The justice began instantly. Martin turned to the security team. "Officer Porter, remove Mr. Whitmore's blazer and badge, right here, in the center of the lounge." The room went silent. Derek's face went from red to deathly pale. Porter removed the insignia of authority, exposing the man who had lived for status to the judgment of the very people he had sought to control. "You were so worried about who didn't belong here, Derek," Naomi said, voice carrying across every corner. "It turns out you're the only one." The man was marched through the terminal, past the hundreds of travelers he had looked down upon. Each pair of eyes that passed him barely saw him. The public spectacle was complete. Have you ever watched someone get exactly what they deserved and felt a quiet satisfaction instead of gloating? Naomi thought, letting the moment linger in her mind. The next morning, Naomi entered the Metropolitan Airport Authority boardroom. She tossed a thick folder onto the polished table. "This is the Grant Protocol. You vote today or Meridian Capital calls in its notes by noon." A senior board member scoffed. "Miss Grant, this seems like an overreaction to a customer service error. We've fired the man. Why the theatrics?" Naomi leaned forward. It wasn't an error. It was a deterrent. Derek Whitmore's negligence wasn't just personal, it's systemic. And I've already flagged his file. No company under my umbrella will ever hire a liability like him again. He didn't just lose a job, he lost a career. The room went cold. They realized she wasn't asking, they were taking orders. The protocol was brutal and precise. 1, the severance swap. Derek's retirement and severance redirected to a scholarship fund for minority aviation students. 2, the 90-day mandate. A Black woman appointed to senior operations to oversee guest experience. 3, the public audit. Every random check logged and published monthly for transparency. Sign, Naomi commanded. The board signed in less than 5 minutes, their hands trembling. 60 days later, Naomi returned to Gate C Lounge. She returned in a deep emerald silk blouse that caught the light of the terminal like a gemstone. It flowed against ivory trousers that were impeccably pressed. Again, there was no designer logo, no brand name to cling to. It was the wardrobe of a woman who had nothing left to prove and everything to command. Quality without logos, dignity without arrogance. A new manager, Kesha, a woman previously overlooked for promotion, stood at the entrance. A young Black man in a hoodie fumbled with his pass. A wealthy traveler huffed behind him, checking his watch. Kesha stepped forward with a warm, confident smile. "Take your time, sir. Our scanner is a bit slow today." She scanned his pass. The machine chimed. "Welcome to the lounge. Enjoy your flight." Naomi watched quietly, a small smile tugging at her lips. Dignity restored. No need to announce it. The world will remember anyway. Soft jazz drifted through the air vents. The scent of polished marble mingled with faint coffee and pastries. Every detail Naomi noticed reinforced the idea that small things can be monumental if handled with care. As Naomi walked toward her gate, she spotted Derek, slouched in a hard plastic chair in the noisy economy section. He looked disheveled, clutching a cheap paper ticket for a budget airline. Their eyes met. Naomi didn't gloat. She didn't stop. She simply kept walking, moving through the crowd flanked by earned respect, leaving behind the invisible man he had become. Derek looked down as travelers passed him, none noticing him. He had become exactly what he feared most. Unseen, unremarkable, irrelevant. Have you ever realized that the greatest power isn't money, status, or intimidation, but knowing when to act with integrity and letting consequences follow? Naomi thought, stepping into the line for her flight, leaving the terminal changed forever. From the other side of silence, toss stories, where real voices rise and truth finds its echo. Like and subscribe, because respect is not optional, and greatness often rises quietly. Share this story with someone who needs to see what true accountability looks like.